I'll go to the intro. All right, folks. Hi. Welcome back to the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dan. Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to the Jeff and Dan Show, all you internet surfers. And if you landed here, boy, were you ever fucked. But anyways, I'm Dan, and that's Jeff, and you already know that by now. So tonight we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to us.
Yes.
Food.
Yeah. We talk about this shit a lot, actually.
We do. We do talk about food a lot.
Yeah.
Food is, well, it's either delicious or it's not.
That's right.
Jeff, what is your go-to comfort food?
My go-to comfort food. Well, do we want to do a whole category of food, or do we want to do like one specific thing?
Just name off a couple of your favorite comfort foods.
My favorite.
Actually, let's start. Yeah, let's do that. Name a couple of your comfort foods, but let's give a definition to comfort food.
Okay, let's do that.
It's like a bowl of peas that comes and visits you when you're sad. Hey, man, I'm here to help you feel better. If you want, you can put a pea in your mouth and eat me.
That's right. Exactly.
If you want, I'll pretend I'm Russian and you can pretend you're Donald Trump.
That's how you catch polar bears.
We'll go.
You go up to the ice, and you look in the scout and see yourself a polar bear, and there's a polar bear in the distance. So you cut a hole in the ice, and then you line up peas every inch all the way around the hole. And it's got to be a pretty decent sized hole, because you're trying to catch this polar bear. It's got to be a decent sized hole. You put it 1 inch apart from each other. And you make a little bit of noise, and the polar bear comes running, and he comes up to the hole to take a pee and knock him in. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do.
So peas are your comfort food?
No, they're not my comfort food, but I do enjoy them. They are one of my favorite vegetables.
There's not too many vegetables I don't eat.
Yeah, there's a lot that I don't eat. Unfortunately, if you can't tell with this good.
Yeah.
But yeah, comfort food, basically the general definition is it's the one thing you can eat a lot of, and it's something that always makes you feel good. Like, makes you sort of levels out your day, or changes your mood, or enhances how you're acting. So, that being said, I have a couple of comfort foods. One is always fruit. Fruit. I can pretty much eat any fruit that exists, and I love it, because the natural sugars always give me sort of a high, Then my next go-to is nachos. Nachos. I love nachos.
Nachos are good.
Nachos, yes. Sometimes they're not mine, though, because they're nachos. But, I do eat them. And I sprinkle them with different stuff, a little bit of Mexican cheese and some sour cream. And
PCP.
Yeah. A little crack cocaine across the top. And, all of a sudden, man, best fucking nachos I ever ate, man.
They were hot.
But no, but I have come to discover that I love this condiment that I've just discovered now. It's called yum yum sauce. It's incredible shit, dude. It's like it's like the best thing ever. It's almost like Thousand Island dressing, but without the chunks.
That's probably what it is.
Pretty much, but I think it's loaded with sugar. So it's.
I was going to say,
sugary.
is it sweet?
Yeah, it's really sweet. I have some upstairs. I'll let you try a little.
Have you tried any of Wendy's Sawsome sauce?
No, I haven't. My wife has, but I haven't.
That has a little bite to it.
Yeah.
It's basically Thousand Island without the chunks, and some bite added to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that yum yum sauce, though, that doesn't have a real bite to it or anything. But it's, it's good stuff. I'll let you try it. And the only other thing that I would consider comfort food that could really definitely change my mood is ice cream.
Ice cream is a very good comfort food.
Yeah, I can eat the hell out of some ice cream.
Yeah,
I stop and eat ice cream sometimes, and I wonder to myself, why the fuck did I just eat ice cream for breakfast? Damn, this peanut butter ripple, it's good stuff. Who needs eggs? What the hell? So what's your comfort foods?
Water.
I didn't ask you what you needed to live. Do you seriously like water? I think you're more a coffee.
Sometimes I do like water.
Yeah.
But I have to be thirsty,
Yeah.
and a lot of times I have to force myself to drink water.
Yeah.
Um,
Does your body ever just crave it?
yes,
Mine does too.
yes.
Mine does too. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I need water. Like,
And-
I don't even want soda. I don't want juice. I don't want anything. I just want water. And I
Water.
grab myself a bottle of water and I'll down the shit out of it.
Does it have to be ice cold?
No, doesn't
No?
even have to be ice cold. I do like ice cold, but I also realize that having ice cold water does also require me to my body to have to process that additional shit, like the coldness. Because when you drink really, really super cold stuff, your body has to like warm it up.
Yeah.
So you burn more energy trying to warm the stuff up.
Which is kind of a catch-22 thing because you're drinking cold water to cool off because you're hot,
Right.
but your body heats itself up so it can warm up the water that you just drink.
Exactly.
And then you drink more cold water to cool it down. And
Here it's just like one giant processing machine of inordinate power.
Dude, one thing I've noticed, and we'll get back to comfort foods in a second, but first I have to go with this here.
Okay.
Whenever you're drinking something really cold, and you can do it on the other end of the spectrum, really hot,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Not so much the hot, but definitely the cold. Whenever you drink it, like a thing, and you're chugging water,
Yeah.
and it feels cold right here, all in the throat,
Yeah.
then you feel nothing, then all of a sudden your stomach just expands cold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
Yes.
How comes you feel nothing in here?
Because there's no receptors in your esophagus. You don't have any pain receptors in there.
But you can feel it if you're choking. You can feel it.
Yeah, because you have that right at the back of your throat, and that's basically where your windpipe and your esophagus split.
And you can feel it whenever you're high anal hernia.
Whenever it gets to the base and it's just sort of chilling, literally.
And you can feel heartburn all the way up.
You can't feel it all the way up. You could feel it only to this point above this point right here, where that splits at.
And then what you're feeling after that is just vomit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's the reason why it's so difficult to register things like GERD, gastrointestinal reflux disease. That's where that little sphincter's at, little asshole in your belly. It's sort of, opening and closing to drop food into your stomach. It regulates is what it's supposed to do. But what ends up happening is that the acid keeps coming up from your stomach and hitting that and burning it. We don't feel it burning it. We just don't feel that. What we feel is nauseous, or we don't feel right, or something just feels wrong. And then when you're sleeping or when you're trying to lay down or whatever, and you start getting the acid reflux, it's a frog.
That's seriously acid reflux.
It was an ass something, all right. But yeah, it's acid reflux going up, and then you feel it when it gets to your throat, and then that's the worst feeling. I hate.
That wakes me right up.
Yeah,
It does.
Have you ever choked on that?
Never choked on it, but it just wakes me right up, and it's oh my, it's burning.
Yeah, when I start it's happened a couple of times, and it scares the hell out of my wife and my family because I get really loud when it happens. You can't breathe. It goes in there and it's coating in your lungs, and now it's not just like food; it's a burning acid that's now in your lungs. So you're like, I'm trying to get it out. You know what I mean? And I'm making as much noise as I possibly can. I'm hitting my chest. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get this shit out of my lungs. It's like choking on your own spit. I know you've done that. Everybody.
Oh my God.
That's the worst shit.
Yeah.
Now imagine that, but it's acid instead, and it's like fucking 10 times worse. And you just you're trying to expel it, and you can't. But
You can't expel anything.
Right. As soon as it hits your chest and it gets caught, you get choked. If you're dead asleep, it doesn't matter what level of state you're in. I was in the middle of dreams, and it happened, and I jumped out of bed, literally just, I wanted to scream, but I couldn't scream.
Oh, it makes me sit right up.
Yeah. And that's just, ugh.
But it doesn't get into my lungs. I just feel this, and it's almost like I'm feeling liquid water, but it's
Yeah.
probably the acid
Yeah.
welling up. But you're laying down, and that's why the little asshole in here isn't doing its job.
Right. It's not
And-
closing all the way.
Right.
It's allowing that shit to come back up. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have GERD, but or acid reflux disease of any kind. But what it definitely means is that you've eaten something to an excess that your stomach just can't handle. And what you should do is sort of take a mental note and say, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
From
for
now
me-
on.
For me, that's one of my comfort foods. Not the acid, but one of the things that causes it. One of my biggest comfort foods is sugary beverages.
Oh, yeah.
Line them up, baby.
Yeah.
Coke, Pepsi, Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
My favorite is iced tea.
Yeah.
And iced tea gives me that more than anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can drink it right at bedtime. No problem.
Yeah.
Other times, I can't.
Usually when you've had a lot of sugar during the day, that's usually when it happens. I bet dollars donuts. 'Cause
I'm gonna
that's when
pay
it
it-
happens to me.
I'm going to pay attention to it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I'm betting that's what happens. Well, you got to understand, tea actually has its own acid.
Yes, it's acidic.
Right. So it's even worse. Coffee's not really super acidic, but soda like Coke, stuff like that, that's really acidic.
That doesn't do it to me.
Right, that's the thing, because the carbonation in Coke actually helps it go down faster. It'll go into your stomach, process very quickly, and go right through your system. Tea doesn't do that because it doesn't have carbonation. It doesn't do any kind of expanding in your stomach. See what I'm saying? Okay, imagine you've got a bladder, like a balloon kind of situation going on. You have an inlet and you have an outlet. You get that inlet, you have a closed piece up here, and you have a closed piece down here, and they work in conjunction with one another. The one up here is your sphincter that regulates your acid, prevents food from it regulates how much food goes in, and the one down below, that's your duodenum, which is your small intestine, where it's sort of saying, okay, I'm going to allow you to push all this stuff in here. One closes, the other one opens. It really does kind of function like that. Now, it's not always perfect, but your body kind of has gotten used to it, and so it traps stuff in your stomach and then pushes stuff down. That's why your stomach works the way that it works. That's also why you get hunger pangs, which is, because what's happening is these are trying to maneuver, and there's nothing in your stomach. So it's like, oh, and it's sort of your mind's way of saying, you need to fill me, put something in there. That's what she said. But
Fill me up.
yeah. So here you have this, and it opens up. This one closes, and if you have just a regular liquid like water or anything in here, if there's nothing else in your stomach, it will go down the tube, and it'll just go down in its own leisure. But if you've got soda in there, it's completely carbonated, and you get the burps. Okay? That burp is basically this sphincter up top opening back up and saying, okay, I'm letting stuff in. Oh shit, there's air, let it out. But what happens when it closes is your stomach gets jostled a little bit, and all of a sudden your stomach starts to expand. You've ever had that feeling? It's kind of like, it's not really super uncomfortable, but it's kind of like,
Drank too much
yes,
soda.
Yes, like there's way too much pressure in here. Like I'm gonna fart sometime soon. But what happens is this: when it closes off, this one opens up. That pressure builds up. It pushes it down through there. So soda just goes right through you, basically, which your body hates. Your body totally hates soda. I don't know why, but we love it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I love pizza, but man, that shit is killing me. The acid in pizza is fucking terrible. That'll definitely kill you over time. Well, ask the Italians.
I have an answer for the troubles. For me, anyways.
Yeah.
A couple sips of milk after the heartburn incident.
Yes. That usually works until you start getting like an acid reflux disease.
And then you have to, then I have to go lay down and make sure my head is higher than the rest of my body. Oh,
Yes.
jeez,
Yes.
man, we are fucking old.
Yes.
Talking
I
about
have to
this
do that
shit.
whenever I'm choking on my puke. I call it choking on puke. It's basically what it is. I'm choking on puke. It's the worst taste. Everything tastes shitty after that for the next day or two. But I have to do that exactly what you're talking about. I drink a shit ton of milk, and then I lay down, and I'm sort of still sitting up.
And I don't think chocolate milk will help you.
No. it doesn't, because the sugars and that will actually start making your acids even worse. Really, really sucks. Interesting thing about chocolate milk, though, did you know that if you add sugar to pretty much anything, you can leave it outside of its container for a lot longer? In other words, if you make a glass of chocolate milk and left it on the counter and go back 2 hours later, you can still drink it.
I'm not going to, but it's
You
good to
can.
know that I can.
The milk won't be curdled because of the sugar. The sugar is the thing in the chocolate milk that's going to make it so that you can still drink it and it's still viable.
And it's supposed to be a bad thing.
No.
Well,
I mean,
sugar's a natural preservative.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that and the fact that milk is a pH balanced kind of thing, so it's a base, so it's like really kind of really low on the pH balance scale, and then sugars are kind of higher, so they're kind of offsetting one another, and it's creating a neutral balance, which makes it so that you can leave it out. I've anywhere from 4 to 5 hours had chocolate milk that I left sitting on a counter, on a table, whatever. Just drank it. Doesn't taste bad. Doesn't.
No.
Most people won't, because it's like, ooh, milk. But the chocolate milk, if you have put enough chocolate into it, the sugars will make it so that it'll stabilize. You can drink it pretty much anytime. It's like drinking water, warm water, except it tastes more like chocolate milk. So anyway, what were we talking about? Comfort foods.
Comfort foods.
Yes. What other comfort foods do you have?
Well, sugary beverages. Yeah. My next one would have to be is definitely high carb foods, and I'm thinking it's stuff like with a lot of sauces or high carbs. Anything with a crazy amount of carbs. I think a Big Mac.
Okay.
Something that's filling, not like chips. Chips aren't filling.
Yeah.
It's considered a comfort food for some.
Right.
But it's not filling for me.
Right.
I want stuff that'll fill me up, like pot pie.
Yeah.
And maybe a little 3-course meal.
Yeah.
Or some meatloaf.
Yes. Yeah. Solid, chunky stuff. It's going to go down and it's going to fill your ass up. Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
Those are my comfort foods.
Yeah.
Now, I love cake and junk food.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would call them my, like when it comes to chips, I'm going to get to a point where enough.
Right.
Cake, I will get to enough. Candy, I will get to a point where it's just too much.
Right. It's a little too much sugar, too much shit. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't get there quite as easily as most people do. Like my wife, she could have like a decadent piece of cake. Like we go to IKEA, and IKEA has this chocolate cake. It's like this super bomb cake, but she eats this. Yeah, they have a restaurant there.
Oh, I thought maybe you had to make it yourself.
I see. I'm the Swedish chef.
Such a novel idea. We used to do that in the 50s.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But no, this chocolate cake's really super decadent, and she can't eat a lot of it.
Can't?
She can't. She'll take a bite or two, and she's just like, whoa, it's just way too much sugar.
Is she a chocoholic?
She does like chocolate, yeah, but she's not like a super chocoholic.
She's not like you or I.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I could put down a box of Hershey's Pot of Gold in no time flat. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I can pound down some Hershey's too.
Exactly. I could take it right down the Hershey highway. Oh, that's not right.
And back up for more.
No, but anything really, really super sugary. I've come to find out that when I get acid reflux with anything really sugary, it's because I've gone throughout the day and I've sort of dehydrated myself. I did a lot of activity and I didn't drink a lot of water. I didn't maintain my intake. So I don't flush out the acids that are in there, and then I've been eating sugary foods.
That's one thing that does evens out the sugary foods, not as far as calories, but as far as the acidity and stuff,
Right.
is water.
Yeah, yeah. And if you don't drink it during the day, which, I'm guilty of not drinking enough water. They're like, oh, you should drink this much, which, by the way, they've figured out that is not true. You should not drink 32 fluid ounces of water, 8-ounce glasses, 64 ounces of water per day. But they say that's not true. That was just a basic guideline for most people. but each person has an individual need for a certain amount of water each
Well,
day.
you know what? It's really simple, but it's hard.
Right.
It's simple in the fact that when you're thirsty, listen to your body and drink.
Yes.
When you're thirsty, listen to your mind and don't drink the soda or the
Right.
tea or
Yeah.
the beer.
Try not to
Drink the water.
Right. Right. And that's the other thing of losing weight and stuff. What's up? What? Do you see balls?
I see a bug.
A bug?
Yeah.
What kind of bug?
I don't know. It seems to be holding a sign.
It says, you guys need to get done. I got to go to bed. How big is this bug?
Oh, it's pretty, almost small enough to be not in human eyesight, but
Oh, it's on there. Oh, it's a little fly. There's little gnat things that piss me off. Anyway, I thought you were looking over here. And the way you were looking at it, I was like, it must be this big. It's got to be huge.
you know, that reminds me of a story that maybe there's something wrong with me.
Okay.
For the past 2 years or so, I will not kill many bugs. I'll let them leave,
Yeah.
let them go.
Yeah.
But if I know they are bad for me, I will kill them.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to the spiders, they're actually beneficial.
Yes. Very beneficial.
And for the last year, I've been letting spiders go.
Yeah.
Go, little fella.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll even help them
Yeah.
and scoop them up and put them somewhere safe.
Right. I usually take them outside and just drop them out.
And with your hands, or you
No,
have
I
a
usually use a cup.
cup or something?
Yeah. Or, if I have like an envelope or something sitting around, I'll use that too. But
Now today, I saw a huge spider in the bathroom. This was no normal spider that I've been letting walk free.
right.
This thing was
It's
huge.
like you taking up rent.
And you know what? I made a choice right there to kill it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, you know what, that could eat 5 times as many of those bugs that I...
But that's the problem. You
they're-
don't want that thing rolling around on you. You know what I mean? Little guys, that's cool.
And the spider, I don't know, would the spider have bitten me? You know, people say, oh, spider bites, spider bites.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they're not really spider bites.
No.
Spiders don't bite humans all as often as what humans think.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's either a an allergy of some sort to the bedding that you have on in your your blankets or your sheets, or it's something else that has contributed to it, like dust mites. Stuff
Dust
that's-
mites or lice
or lice, or bed bugs or any of that shit. But usually, some of those have a telltale sign. Like the bed bugs have a general, they will bite you on your ankles really bad, and then will bite you on your neck really bad. But they won't usually mess with the rest of your body because they're coming up from the side of your mattress. So your ankles are usually near there, and they'll bite that, and then they'll go back into wherever they were at. And then your head's also close to the top, so they don't like hair so much, so they'll bite your neck. But it's very interesting, the whole. And you're right, spiders do not usually bite you unless you've cornered them in a way that they know they can't get out, where they feel threatened territorially. So yeah, and that's.
Yeah, I can't help but wonder if the brown recluse is the same way, or...
That's another one that gets a whole bunch of shit that just...
Well, brown recluse will fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It'll bite you and give you a necrotizing fasciitis.
Yeah.
It'll open you up, like it'll eat your skin. Yeah. That's always kind of a shitty thing. And the other really shitty thing is that there's 2 types of spiders that look very much like the brown recluse. And it just so happens my house is full of them. So it's kind of like, you suck. You know what I mean? I don't want to kill you, but you look like you could cause some damage, so I'm going to kill you. It's, yeah. But there's corner spiders, the ones that you see get in the corner, and then like over winter time or fall time, they'll build themselves a little teeny tiny web nest, and they'll sit in there until the next year, when it's warm out and they realize, oh, it's about time to get out, and then they'll come out of there, or they'll end up dying in there, one or the other. They have like a golden colored body, and they look exactly like brown recluse. And then there's the typical garden spider, which is a house spider, garden spider, and it kind of looks like that. It's brown and it's got but with the brown recluse, it has a little what looks like a violin on its back. So you kind of have to really pay close attention, and nobody's really going to sit down and go, "Oh wow, that definitely looks like a brown recluse," you know. So you're kind of up in the air with what you do, but we do have them, you know, not here, but we do have them in this area, but we don't have them in our house. But
Well, you know what though? They've been giving the name recluse for a reason.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the crazy psycho bastard. You gotta go running around and shit. You know?
Well, they just keep to themselves. You know, they don't bother nobody. They don't.
Oh, yeah.
They just stick at home with their Netflix and
Netflix and chill. Popcorn, bitches.
glass of bug juice in one hand.
Got this big ass popcorn kernel over here. He's just sort of popping little pieces off and eating it and shit.
Oh shit! I gotta act like I'm not home. Somebody's coming to the door.
Bing bong. Would you like to learn more about the Jesus Christ and when he visited? No, go away. I'm trying to watch Netflix. You suck. Mormons, what are you gonna do? But no, another one that gets a really bad rap is black widows. There hasn't been a death from a black widow since the 80s.
Since what?
The 80s. 1980s. 1985, I think, was the last one that killed somebody. And even then, it was an older man who had a heart condition. And you know what I mean? Like there was this extenuating circumstances as to why this man died.
1 foot in the grave already.
Right, basically, yeah. He was just taking a leap already, and yeah, this thing just came along and just pushed him over. Get in the grave. So yeah, exactly. So, but black widows are an interesting creature. I've only ever seen a couple of them, and they're interesting. They're scary when you see them. They're solid black. I mean, like black. Like
Stay
you might see
away from me, black.
Yeah, like, and they have no hair whatsoever on any part of their body. It's just like solid, like a PVC latex dominatrix suit. You know what I mean? Come on, bitches. This ball gag in your mouth. You know what I mean? But no, when you see them, they are intimidating as hell because they can get a decent size. But that you see that thorax, man, and it's just like that red just shines. Like you're just like, oh shit, that is just so creepy looking when you see one. And I
think I saw one in Pennsylvania, but I'm not sure.
You probably did. Yeah, they come up here. They come up in shipments from down south. So you see them like in lumber yards and stuff.
Skiing
like
season.
Ski round top. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I only got 2 skis.
I got 8 fucking legs, man. 4 legs per ski. Let's go.
Some pictures of spiders, close-ups,
Yeah.
are absolutely frightening,
Yes.
and some close-ups of spiders,
It's cute.
they look dumb. They look like a retarded idiot. Oh, I said that bad.
Yeah.
Well, they look like toy. I'm a spider.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Sometimes you look at him and they're like, oh, he's cute and fuzzy, and he's got 17 eyes, but he's cute and fuzzy.
What do you need 17 eyes for?
No,
And you know what that
because they
brings-
can't
that
move
bring-
them. They can't move them around. So they're each one of them's like in an independent
in
thing.
its direction.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So they can see sort of like in a field of view that's better than what we can, but their eyes are focular. They're just straight. They're like a straight rod coming out from where their eye is at.
So can they focus on one particular window, or did they see through all windows at the same time and get one picture? I guess we'll never know, will we?
Well, they pretty much take it all in as one picture, just like we would. I mean, we take, because our brain forces us to see what we see. But if you lose an eye, you still see. It's just your mind has to take a little while to adjust to the fact that things are not in 3 dimensions anymore. It's now in 2 dimensions. Because there's no, point where you can see something looking realistic. You know what I mean? It's just flat. Same thing for the spider. But the thing is that spiders supposedly are not very, they need glasses.
Not very what?
They need glasses. They're not very good, not able to focus on a lot of stuff. So they can have a pair of, 20 sets of eyes or whatever, but they can't really see like total distance. they can only see things up close. And when things are becoming, like they don't have any adjustments in their lens, they can't change, how far away they can see. That
So, like, middle of the night, this spider's up there, and it's working its way down, just minding its own business, just, going on a hike, going on a stroll, checking out its territory. And it really can't see far. It only can see a few centimeters, right?
Right.
It's getting down there and crawling down the web, and all of a sudden they see this big giant face right underneath them.
And they go right back up.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. Most of the time when you eat bugs, it's when you're sleeping. You do eat bugs, 12 a year minimum. That's the average, but it's basically minimum because you probably eat more than that, especially when you're outside during the summer and bugs go in your mouth and up your nose and stuff. You don't even realize half the time when you're eating them. But when you're sleeping 12 times or 12 bugs, and usually spiders crawl in.
Spiders what?
Crawl in. They go and get into your
Oh,
mouth.
don't tell me that.
They
dude.
do.
Don't
They
tell
do.
me that.
They do. They don't rappel down in like Tom Cruise in fucking Mission Impossible. Dun, 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 dun. Gone. Yeah. Here I thought I was choking on puke. It's a fucking spider. Dying here. Yeah.
It's a leg.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the spider?
It's the thorax. It's nice and meaty, man. Yeah. But no.
Come on down to KFS, Kentucky Fried Spider. You want a leg?
You're going to need a lot of them. 10,000 leg special.
Can I get the 12-piece thorax meal?
That's just grody.
Do spiders have exoskeletons?
They're outer shell, yeah. Yeah, they have exoskeletons.
Okay.
They're invertebrates, so they have no skulls or skeletons inside, but they do have it on the outside. But not all spiders are like that. The black widow is a perfect example of one that is like that. That shininess that you see, that's all really, really super hard. It's just like, you could probably flick a black widow with your finger, and most bugs, it would just kill them. But with a black widow, it would just flicker across the ground, and you'll hear her. So, yeah, exactly. The one bugs that really get me, and we're kind of over our time, but the one bugs that really get me are the ones that just invaded us, like a decade ago or so, the stink bugs.
Stink bugs.
Those things are just, they're insane. I mean, I've never seen a bug in my life that's so hard to kill. We get only a couple here, and we live not that far away from orchards and stuff like that. You would think we'd be inundated with them, but we don't really get a lot of them. You can't kill them with the spray.
No, you have to crush them.
You have to crush them, and crushing them is no easy feat. I'd flick those bugs across the room. I have knocked them completely, as hard as I possibly can, into a wall, just to watch them either fly right to the edge of the wall and catch it, or hit the ground and just start walking the fuck away. And I'm just like, how does that even work? You know what I mean? How do you get that strong that you're armored like that, They just don't die. And they're the grossest damn things to crush, because they're just like, it sounds like you're crushing an aluminum can. And you're just like, oh. Crushing bugs are just not my
And then you smell it.
Yeah. Oh, my wife's like, oh, you're going to kill that bug on the wall. That's great. Now go get a napkin and clean it off. I'm just like, no, I'm just going to leave it there. You can clean it off yourself.
There is an invention out there. It's kind of like, there's two of them.
Yeah.
The one of them is kind of like a squirt gun or a super soaker, kind of.
Yeah.
Where you just go up to the bug.
And fling your glasses.
And fling your glasses at it. It sucks the bug in. You don't touch it or anything. You just,
yeah.
You just suck the bug in the storage, it dies, whatever.
I gotcha, yeah.
And the other thing is really good for flies, and I want one.
It's a shotgun.
It's the assault gun.
Yes.
That looks like a lot
so
of fun, man.
It does, man. Because they always show you the video and you're just like, oh, dude, that's freaking awesome. He's wasting these flies, man, and it's like just all it is salt. That just looks so cool. But then you got to realize they're 4 inches away from the damn fly. The fly's stupid as shit, and he's taking video like right there. You know what I mean? So it's probably not easy to do. But
Well, it
still seems like it'd be fun as shit.
Yeah, you probably have to develop a little bit of skill with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Just like whenever Well, have you ever gone like and tried to catch flies?
Oh yeah, yeah, swoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they keep them in your hand and boom, and throw them on the ground and kill them. Yeah, yeah. I used to
That
be
takes
really
a little
good
bit
at
of
that.
skill, you know,
Yeah,
to go up there. And
yeah.
now, one thing I'm really good at is I take chopsticks.
You wax on, wax off. No, I just whack off. No, it's funny because fly catching, I was actually taught and told by an old guy. I don't know if he was kidding or what the hell the deal was, but he told me and a bunch of other guys that I was going to school with that you can stun a fly by confusing its eyes. You can actually literally do something like put your fingers out and pet a fly. And it won't move. It'll stay there. And all you do is you cross your fingers like this. And then you just go directly at it with your fingers, very slowly. And it confuses the fly because it thinks it's seeing the wrong thing because your fingers should typically be like this. It doesn't see this as being an enemy, so it just automatically stays there. Try it sometime. It really does work. I mean, it's not guaranteed 100% of the time.
You got this from Crocodile Dundee.
No, I didn't.
Get out the road, Dobie!
Yeah. No, I didn't get it from that. It was an old guy. It was actually in Virginia, and he showed us guys, all of us. There was like 6 or 7 of us there that were just stunned, like, the fuck?
That's not a spoon. Now that's a spoon.
That's right. It's like crocodile.
I will try that. I will
Crocodile
try that.
Yeah, try it sometime. It don't go in too fast, but you can go in at decent speed. But the fly just sits there and looks at you, like, what the hell is that, man? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? And then you can touch it on the back of its head, touch it on its ear. Don't do it those weird. Just crush it, yeah. Poor dude, that sucks. Flies are gross. I don't know. They're like one of the most disgusting things ever. They carry disease. They carry all kinds of shit. They just, and to think they come from a maggot. And the first thing you see that life, it's a maggot. It's like,
dude, if we only knew, if we could only see what a fly does, we would throw away a lot of food.
we would be a human on a wall.
Did you know a fly throws up on your food?
Yes.
And then sucks it back up?
Yes. Once the acid gets down onto the food and turns it into a mush, yeah, and then they suck it back up, yeah.
So
yeah, it's gross.
The throw up was shit 5 minutes ago.
Yes, and they automatically defecate when they land. That's one of their biggest traits. That's why you don't get shit on the head by flies, because when they land is when they take a shit. And it's not every time. It's only if they've been eating. But as soon as they land, the shit, boom. And then they walk over and do something else.
Wipe.
That's why they're all like...
You can't see them, but they're actually dragging their ass on.
Yeah. Like a fucking dog. Yeah. That's just gross, but true. So.
Well, I think that about takes up our time for the night.
Yeah, I think so too.
And, well, I guess maybe we'll cut it off here.
Cut it off at the balls.
Whack off. Oh my.
Whack on, whack off.
Thank you everybody for tuning in to the Jeff and Dan Show.
Yes.
Be sure to check us out on jeffanddan.com for more sort of interesting, definitely insane videos and commentary.
Yes, and to find out how our week's going, because you love us. Also, we're going to be doing some remotes at some point in time, and we're also going to have guests in the studio with us. So that'll be kind of fun.
Guests?
Yes.
Yes, I can't wait.
Guests.
Anybody on tap that I know?
Yeah, probably Roger.
Okay, yeah, I'll bring him down.
Roger's expressed interest in wanting to come back down. Of course,
absolutely.
He's going to get us fucking higher than balls, but,
We can't with him on video.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because he works for the...
Yeah, those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't do that. Yeah.
Well, hey, stay in touch, folks. We're going to stay in touch with you.
Yes.
We're going to show up on your house.
You better you better hope you're watching the show because we're going to show up at your house. All right, very good, man. I am Jeff.
I'm Dan. Thank you.
Yes, this is Jeff and Dan Show. If you like it, subscribe, leave a comment, talk to us, let us know what you think. And we'll answer some of your questions on air. All right, have a good one.